You guys too hard. We're doing Monday. Isn't it like some public holiday somewhere in the world? Not for me though. How's everyone going? Hope you're having a good Monday. Intro right now. See you in a sec. All right, hello everybody. Welcome to Monday, special stream for you guys. Let me just realign the charts. My God. Someone said I was from Canada. Nah, I'm not from Canada, but I heard it's a beautiful place. Cheers, everyone. 6% up in ADA, 4% up in BTC, and Ethereum on a run. The question is, can it keep it up? Crypto market looking a little bit better today than it was earlier this morning. Big turnarounds. Let's have a look at this as a percentage. As a percentage, my God, 9% already up from the 34 lows. And of course, on the 29th, we were even lower. It's pretty incredible what crypto does. I don't know how technical it is, and we'll be talking about that throughout today's session. It's really, really tough to be looking at when we're talking about technicals. So if you were to go and you were to show me this chart of, let's say, Ethereum, I would say the bottom's in. The problem is we are obviously in big issues. Like when I say the bottom's in, where to? Is the bottom into 2,700? Is the bottom into 2,900? Is the real bottom in? So from a lightning bolt perspective, you'd say trough, peak, higher peak sequences in now for move up at least over the next 24 to 48 hours. So we have a good chance there. You know what I mean? Well, this Monday, that like the technicals look good towards the bull side. The problem is going to be always that we still need 3,000 until we can be sure that we're in a proper recovery phase of cryptocurrencies, especially things like Bitcoin and Ethereum. We need this thing to get above these previous highs. Bitcoin has to get above 42,000, 42,500. Ethereum must get above 3,000. We know this. It's nothing new. And I guess I continue to say the same kind of thing. I mean, what do you guys feel? You reckon that we've just seen the low? I mean, some people will probably be arguing now. They'll be like, oh, yes, we tested this area 3 times now. And that's totally relevant. You know, 2,200, 2,200, 2,200. If you were investing, probably not trading, but if you were investing, I could see why people caught the knife at this zone. You then saw that pullback and then, of course, recovery here. No doubt Ethereum is showing a lot more strength as well than BTC. And I have one major concern with BTC. Firstly, let's talk about this. We've got a little bit of, is it a great trend line? No, but it does go through some points. Again, lightning bolt coming through BTC here, guys. Trough, peak, higher trough, higher peak. It's good. Here's my issue. And my issue goes to some discussions I've had with people on the weekend. They work for pretty large corporate companies. They're not the CEO or anything, but they definitely work for them. They've invested money in crypto. They have categorically said that the companies will never invest in BTC. Now, why? Because this green thing is too big a deal for them. It's too much of a risk to their business. Now, whether I don't want to get into it each way, but basically speaking, it has hurt the credibility of some of those bigger players coming in. Now, does that hurt the credibility of the crypto market? I don't think so, because it's not new information. Most people in the crypto market are fully aware that it's proof of work versus proof of stake, the two sides, the two discussions, everything like that. So I'm not here to discuss that. I am here to discuss one thing, and that is that I believe a lot of corporations now will stay away from BTC. So here comes the problem. Let's say we see recovery through it now, and I full well we could, and we'll talk about some deep dive here on the crypto in just a few moments. Do we see next time around the big king, the BTC itself, the Bitcoin, the Bitnoodle, whatever you want to call it, do we have a changing of the guard? Let's say in 12 to 18 months' time, in 2 years' time, will we have another coin such as Ethereum, proof of stake, overtaking BTC in market cap and actually decrowning it? Now, I've talked about this for a while. If that occurs, it's going to mean not super gains for quite a period of time until we see that happen. But do you guys think it will happen? Tell me right now. Melb's Rona going through the roof, says Tony Hall. No, I don't know. I haven't read the news. What's going on, man? It's all good. We don't talk about that here. I know we're in lockdown. It sucks. That's about it. Ethereum only spent about 15 days above $3,000, says Benevolent One. It didn't spend long time there, but we have seen a big movement through. Doge Democracy says Doge or ADA. Yeah, I'm surprised that so many people love ADA so much, but fair enough. CS says it's bottomed out. Ryan says it feels like it. Kitty coins are the best, says D. James. The flippening is coming, says Aiden B. The flippening, man. Yeah, absolutely. No, ADA for the win. I don't know who will take over. Well, we never know exactly what will take over, but I do think that there is a good chance here that we are seeing a big change in the concept of crypto. Now, will BTC still be the leader? I don't know. But I would say next time around, you might want to take a smattering of coins versus where it's always been, which has just been taking the Ethereum and taking the BTC, the big dogs. That's all you've ever taken. Most people have. Most people have invested in these two. I think that is something that we will be talking about. So it's looking good. There's no doubt that when you take a look at this chart, things look much, much stronger here for BTC. We've got the trough, we've got the peak, we've got the higher trough, and of course, we've broken through here. Now, today I was mentioning this in Zone, and I did this in our private hangout. If you ever want to join the private community, you can do so here, or you can do so on fxevolution.com, by the way. And I was mentioning about this daily, and I think it's worthwhile sharing it with you guys. So here's a daily chart, and yes, I understand the crypto market technically never closes, doesn't have day sessions. But what I noticed interesting was that there was never a close underneath this area. And I was hoping there wouldn't be, because that will put in a base. Now, I still am looking at this area, and I do believe that when we take things like weeklies into consideration as well, if we get a closure under this base, remember this is where it closed as well on the weekly, that we really are in for significant lows. Let's go over to what many people have some very fun names for, which is, of course, this accumulation period. Now, if you want to bring this into your stock analysis, stock guys, hold with us. Give us likes as well. We're doing this on a non-market day, so I assume it to be a smaller stream. So give us a like if you're enjoying the stream so far. But yeah, basically, this theory is very popular right now. I probably should put it in some key names on the channel. Probably help me out because everyone's going on and on about it. Remember, it's the basis of human psychology. What is the ultimate tool of the market? To make as much money as possible from everybody. And if they can do that using certain basic human psychology effects, this is one of the ways they do it. Now, I actually prefer this a lot more than Elliott Wave. Now, you notice I never talk about Elliott Wave. Maybe someone out there loves Elliott Wave. I found Elliott Wave too difficult to invest in. Let's say you trade. Well, investing is okay, but trading is very, very hard. Now, this is actually more of an investment philosophy, okay? It's not a trading philosophy as much. And the reason why is because when you're trading, you have to be fast. And you have to think, okay, are you really going to see all of these phases generally in a trade setup? You're not as much, but you will see them a lot in investing. And what this I would look for, okay, for stock guys out there, is if you get a stock, let's say a stock gets crunched and it gaps hard and it loses, and I'll give you a percentage here, around 20 to 25%. And let's say it's not a technology stock, because we talked about those before. When this occurs, you should actually be looking for this or something very similar to this, because what markets will do is they'll accumulate at the bottom while they wait to actually break out above. So you might think fair price, after a gap from up here all the way down, you might think fair price is here, and you could be correct. But do you want to catch the falling knife? Do you want to get stabbed in the arm? I don't want to get stabbed in the arm either. So this type of philosophy is actually really good, and you will generally see this type of effect to happen as well. You'll see like the selling climax, You'll see a new low being formed that will take out stop losses. You may even see a second one, and you will generally see a nice channel pattern. Because really, in essence, what is this? It's a channel. That's all it is. It's a channel with resistance and support. It's not any different to what you already know out there, guys. And that's why I want to break down. It's just a channel, and it's teaching you about the fact that sometimes channels have false breaks that take a lot of money off you. So are we in this phase in crypto? Well, if we are, then we have already seen the ST potentially in Ethereum. We are now rolling back up, let's call it. Let's say it's all sped up. So we're in the ST, we've already rolled back up, and then we've rolled back down. Now we haven't made a new low. Okay, and I'll show you when we look at the chart in just a few moments. By the way, thank you very much for the super chats coming through. Let's just have a quick look here at the Ethereum. So we made the new low, the first phase here. We went up very quickly, big returns. We came back down then, and we haven't made a lower low. We certainly haven't tested a new low or anything like that. So are we just in the middle of this pattern? What I'd be actually looking for if you're a longer term investor and you're already buying portions in here is you need to be looking for a test up here with some kind of spring underneath it, which we talk about a lot. We talk about coiling. I use the word coiling. They use the word spring. Or it breaks out and then it quickly springs underneath. Now, the problem with the breakout here is we may never get a return. It's kind of like Tesla. When things go through on crypto, they often do not come back for some time. They just go hyperbolic. So you've got to be watching it. I'd be very interested to see what you guys think about that. Today's American holiday, but commodities and crypto are trading? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're still doing it. There's no reason we can't look at futures here today. There's no reason we can't look at crypto here today. It's a very, very good day to come out. All right. Everyone talking about, Look, that is also another thing. Believe me when I say, when you're talking about crypto, you're talking about AMC, you're talking about GME or anything, it seems like the internet is very big on conspiracies, and the internet's very big on this idea that there's some hidden big arm kind of behind it. Now, I've fallen into telling or to putting that in my titles because it's popular, but realistically, nothing's changed in these markets. It's a very similar philosophy. When I say nasty Wall Street, they are nasty. The way that they take your money is nasty because it preys on basic human psychology. It's like the sheeple. If you're a sheeple and you do everything that everyone else is doing in the retail market, not what the big dogs are doing, then you will get destroyed. It'll be like lambs to the slaughter, yeah? But if you're not a sheeple and you think about it from what they're doing and you understand the psychology of the market, it's like it's like a war. It's literally like that on the charts. That's what you're looking at in the candlesticks. All right, we've got some super chats coming in here. We've got Josephine Van Schaik. Thank you very much for the donation here. Australian $5. Can you please take a look at VMS, Venture Minerals Limited, and maybe ST1 Spirit Technology Solutions? Thank you. Will do. Al Berlo, also super chat 229. You gave me some... You I saw your comment in the chat room before, Al Berlo, where you were like, lol. But thank you very much for the 229 here, man. Hi, Tom. AMD Inverse Head and Shoulders Breakout. We'll take a look at that very, very soon. And we've got a new subscriber here, DIJ. Welcome, DIJ. But what if you are a sheeple, says Tahil. Well, you don't want to be a sheeple. That would be bad. Get it? Bad. You don't want to be no sheeple. I should put that on like a thing. We can wear sheeple shirts. It's fraud which is sanctioned by the SEC, says Gerard. What is, bad? Oh, you mean like general internet discussions and trading in general? Yeah. Yeah, well, we don't want to be sheeple when we can be. So we'll do those super chats in a second. Ethereum, I just want to keep going through these thoughts. And BTC, you can see it's starting to consolidate. This is a good breakout. I'm not convinced it is the end of a downtrend. I am kind of feeling like any pullback back to this zone should be met by buying pressure though. So if you go to like this 1 hour, you kind of put like right there, you would think that any selling pressure that comes down here should be met by some buying pressure. I am not personally trading this market technically right now. If you want to invest off key technical supports that you believe are going to hold, such as the 34K, such as the 2200 on Ethereum, that's fine. But remember, investing and trading are a little bit different. Are there big percentage changes? Yes. Is it erratic as all hell? Yes. Because every time it breaks down, it's not quite making the distance. It's not quite... Remember when I got pissed off about Litecoin and I went crazy about Litecoin, how it sucks because it wasn't acting technically? This is something that I feel is also not acting great because of the fear, the FUD, the general discussion. It's gone from a rhetoric of crypto is the savior to crypto is killing the environment and crypto is exploding the world, and suddenly every currency in the world's going to have its own crypto. You know what I mean? It's like there's a lot of news at play, and I like actually markets where it's less news and more technical analysis, and that's when you really do well in trading. It's actually not crazy spastic markets like this. It's good markets where we can really hone in on great TA. And sometimes I just leave something alone and I might like it a lot, but I leave it alone. I come back to it, and we'll talk about that also when we have a look at the commodities soon. So, all right, let's do these two super chats. Let's move over here to Josephine's one. This is VMS, mineral company. Must be Australian. Yep. VMS, very small, $145 million company. So quite small, therefore a little bit harder to do the TA on. So I think we will do your second one there, Josephine. Look, it's a great breakout here for you. This one has come down to the 10-cent kind of line, found some instant buyers. Is there anything you can really take from this? I mean, you look at this chart and you think it's not really technical. It's probably more just based on fundamentals. The penny stocks, and this is a penny stock because I'll just bring this up for everyone, $145 million. Let me just bring it up here. Can you see that? $145 million is too small for doing TA on. TA works well on large things. Like in cryptocurrency, you would only really use TA other than basic human psychology TA on the big ones. BTC, Ethereum, Cardano, etc. This one here, where could it go? You have to go out to the weekly here to figure out where the levels are. And I think somewhere around this kind of 20-cent mark, you're going to have problems. What's this, about 18 cents? So anywhere from between 17 to 18 cents, there will be some issues. At this stage, it looks like a breakout and it's consolidating for the next move. I wouldn't be too concerned. Underneath 10 cents, bad for this. Let's now move to ST1, Spirit Technologies. That doesn't look as good. But good news, it is coming back down to support. So you've had a breakout on the weekly. You can see it's broken down. It's coming back in now to this 27. I would expect it to be picked up around this. There's probably a few reasons why I think there would be. One of them is going to be something like a fib retracement. We've got a 50% fib retracement right around this zone. And that's a strong level. You know I love 38, 2, and 50% fib retracements. These levels here, they date back. Golden ratio, such as the Egyptians using that on their pyramids and stuff. Not so good. Not so good, but the 50% is good, and I like the area. So that one should be pretty strong. We've got Alberlo as well with the AMD question. Let's have a quick look here. AMD, inverse head and shoulders. Yeah, look, we've looked at this one for quite some time. Now, you're talking about must be on the smaller time frame. So obviously, you've got the big head and shoulders, which if it ever got through here would be horrendous. Then they've started buying up their own shares recently, which is great. So let's have a look at it on 2 hour. Yep. Okay. I see what you're talking about. Not bad, man. So basically you got your left here, your head here, which is a nice head. You got your right here, and I really like the slope and the break. I'd love to see a retest as well, man. You know, if this pulled back to this 200, simple. Let's have a look at this on the 4 hour. Okay, 20, 50 cross as well. Oh, you're going to have so many moving averages there, man. So I really like AMD at this zone. $79-ish. Imagine it's only $1 off where it is right now, but this is the type of strength that we're seeing across the tech sector right now. We're seeing this strength coming through, and I like this. I like this. Inverse head and shoulders, really beautiful kind of level of consolidation. Breakout, retest would be sweet. Yeah, it looks good. Nice. Solid, dude. Whenever you've got company buying back, though, it doesn't really make me happy. It's like they've kind of like held the line for you, but when they buy back, they usually have nothing better to do with their cash. And while it can create sugar rushes in the stock, it's not one of my favorite things to go on. So, yeah. I see it on the daily. Yeah, 79. It doesn't matter which time frame. Like, you can see it on the daily here, if that's what you're talking about, and it probably is going to proof. I would use the 4 hour just because I think the 4 hour looks a little bit nicer in terms of it's a cleaner pattern. But yeah, look, everything's kind of pointing out. And you can also see the 85, 86 range. It's a good spot. Well done. Thank you for the donation there. Let's go over to some of the chat questions here. Hi, Tom. What do you think about Telstra? What does the TA suggest? It suggests that Telstra is going to get a free NBN. Let's have a look at Telstra. Telstra is this is it, 358. So Telstra is an Australian telecommunications company that's basically one of the largest, let's call it bad stocks in Australia that just sits there and does nothing for ages. It's been in the doldrums for some time. I actually think Telstra is going to have a bullish closure against the long leg doji. 50 moving average is something I'm watching on the weekly. I know these stocks quite well. And I actually feel like we could be moving towards the 390 bracket. And that would be a very common, very standard kind of move here based on what we're seeing with their earnings announcements and everything else. This is a strong movement here. This week might be the determiner. I'd like to see it close above 352, 353. See how this 350 has been resistance. I would love to see a closer above here. And weekly would be great, but that monthly is also very compelling on the long leg doji. So, yep, I think it's strong up to around that 390 area, and the breakout does seem to be occurring. You'll probably get two choices like that, or just a straight move up. Both are good. Not a stock I like long term. I would not own that thing for the long term, but that's just my opinion. It's good for options, etc. Massey says writing down AMD for tomorrow. Yeah. All right. Well, keep asking questions. We're just doing a bit of a casual hangout here. I've kind of gone through a little bit of the BTC and the crypto market at this point. That's certainly good. Marcus Horn, $5. Tom, what software are you using to draw this stuff on screen? Also, pray for Square. Don't worry about Square, man. Wait, is it something I don't know about Square? Did something happen? Marcus, what happened? I haven't read much on the news in the weekend. I was just chilling. Sometimes I like to just chill. Did something happen to Square that I don't know about? Share it with me, guys. Share it with me in Discord if there is. Hope not. Don't do it to me, man. Don't do it to me. Let's have a quick look at Square for you, though. If you're talking about the crypto market, remember, they're only really exposed to BTC, and 37,000 BTC just takes you back to where you were on Friday, so that's not too much of a problem. So I don't need to pray for Square. I just hope it continues up the trend. I also don't really see it as a crypto business. I know everyone else does, but I see it as a recovery. All the new coffee shops that are going to be opening in the US, they're all going to use Square. Here in Australia, they're coming into this market, and I can tell you they have a serious chance to dominate our Australian market. And they know it too, because they're coming in strong and fast into the Australian market with micro lending as well. They'll be going through a whole bunch of Western markets, and I believe they will dominate and continue to dominate those areas. Will there be some problems if crypto completely crashed out? Yeah, I think it would hurt the stock, but it depends what your time horizon is on it. Stock looks good. The T8, the thing I use is this. So it's called Epic Pen. And you can see it's got all these different little things. This is the arrow that I use. Change the color if I'm using a different color, and you got the drawing pen, you got highlighters, etc. And you can also undo everything there. So it's quite a handy one. Epic Pen. Support the creator. I guess it's pretty cool. So, yeah. With the Square play weekly here, looks pretty okay. Back to the 20, but it's never really respected the 20 too much since it broke through, so I don't really think that's a big concern. All these hyper stocks, they're all going to move realistically on if they continue to break out. So if you look at things like TDOC, it had a good session, then came straight back down. You look at it on a daily, looks absolutely horrible. I mean, you got a big rejection, looks good. Got a huge move, then it rejects back down. They're still in downtrends. These are still in downtrends. There's no doubt about that. So is TDOC potentially setting up for some serious moves up? Yeah, I mean, if we can flatline above this, yeah, absolutely. And all the hyper stocks are like this. They're very, very, very similar. Truly Messiah says Tom loves Square, but not Jack Dorsey. Yeah. I think the company, I think just there's time. fintech's time, but I'm actually a big bio fan. You guys know I've been moving bio pretty fast and pretty hard. That's the kind of thing that I'm playing at the moment. Why? Because I'm prepared to take the risk over the time, and I think that it's an underappreciated sector. In fact, take a look at this. Take a look at this. So I was doing this with the Hangout today, and I was showing everybody. This is actually the bio sector over time. If you guys are interested in this, there you go. There's the bio sector. So you can see the bio sector. And what I really wanted to highlight here was this point. So if you have a look at this point here, the bio sector over the last year, it hit a resistance. It went way overextended, and then it's basically found a huge amount of support. Now on the channel, we talk about this quite a lot. We've got support, 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 great price action here in the bio sector. And then you've got a peak, effectively a higher trough, and you're going towards a higher peak. Now, this is the whole biotech sector. So it's super interesting. You also go over, and I think this is very important for people to understand, you go over 10 years, and there's an area that I'm looking for. And it's this area here. See how there was a huge movement from around that 2011 period to around that 2015-16 period. Now, I've been talking a lot about how the sequences are very similar. And remember, you've also got a very similar government in the US as last time. You saw materials run, you saw financials run. You know, I think my financials are cooked, completely cooked, except for fintech right now. I think they're going to hover between 10% each way. I'm trying to get this move. I want a big move in the healthcare sector, specifically biotech, but it's been a crap index to be in. Look, it's been crap. Look how crap it's been for years. And then it had a breakout, and I still think that people pay more money for their health than anything else. So that's why it's one of those sectors that, you know, I'm looking at. Obviously, you've got to do your own research, but can you see what I mean about this chart? Like, it's very compelling stuff when you bring this up and you think, wow, this was up so much back in 15. It had that big run similar to many healthcare areas, and then it kind of dropped off, and it's done nothing for years and years and years and years. Obviously, some stocks have done well, some stocks have gone bust, some stocks have had bad technology, etc., but it's a super compelling kind of concept. There's other ones too. I mean, like, you know, I'm big on agriculture for the next couple of years. I don't think that's probably gone through. I love this agriculture code, by the way, MOO. How cool is MOO? So MOO is interesting. You can see how over ridiculous solar has been. So there's solar, but people also forget that solar had massive movements through that 2012 to 2014 area. They weren't here for when solar went nuts last time. And do you know how many people lost money on solar back then? A lot of retail traders were hard into this back then, and they got absolutely destroyed. So it's a cautionary tale, because you look at the solar index and it's mad. And while it's recovering right now, I don't know, that's not compelling to me. Maybe it's compelling to you, but it's not compelling to me. I'd be very specific about what I'd target in that area. Jay Constant says pump time now. What are we pumping, man? 2 minutes before pump. Marcus Horn, $5. Tom, what? Oh, yeah, you asked about this Epic Pen. Yeah, Epic Pen, man. That yellow was rough on my eyes, did it? Yeah, it's not good, is it, Conan? We don't usually do that one. Tom, could you check out LTHM for me? It's gotten to 20 and looking for a good level to get back into it. Let's have a quick look at Amgen as well. Let's have a quick look at this. Yeah, this is a very large one though. So you got 136 billion. You can see it's sat around for a little bit of time here, since 19 really. It's okay. Basically, I would just trend line it like this and just say, I want to see a little bit more bullishness come out of this one. It's kind of like Regen as well. Like if you have a look at Regen, it's right on the support of the trend line, exactly where we expect it to go. We picked it up around in here in terms of started looking at it. And that's another one that's coming through strong here. Long leg doji, decision made. Hey, we're in a trend line. You know what I mean? Regeneron, it's an interesting one. LTHM, let's take it out. Live Vent Corporation. Ooh, nice. Not bad at all. Actually, real closure. Yeah. So you've got your real closure. It's kind of come back down to where you'd hope it. Somewhere in between 90 and 90.51 is where you hope it pulls back to, because this should proof correctly to the right area. Yeah, it does. I think it's got 23, man. Like LTHM. Like, I don't even know what this is. What is this? Chemical speciality. Good trend line. We've looked at it a few times, I believe. Great closure. It looks strong up to the highs. I don't see why something like this that's just broken out like this has shouldn't be able to go up there. Jay Constant says, hodl it, wait for it, scam wick. Where's the scam wick, man? My fiat keeps turning into silver. Yeah, let's have a look at the silver and gold markets. First, we'll start with the dollar index. So let's have a quick look here at the dollar index. Let's have a quick dive down into it. Dollar index, big rejection straight into our trend line. So we saw this, the day trade that came through there, and how we saw that. And it just shows you, I guess, you've got to have your key supports set, because look at this, 90.40 support becomes resistance. Now, we're right here. This is super important for gold and silver traders, because look at this chart. Oh my goodness, it looks horrible. It looks super short, but we can't really predict that the whole thing's going short until we get back under this low. So there's lots of nasty wicks. Look at these nasty wicks. All these rejections, but they're still on the trend line. They could turn at any point. You get above 90.20 again, boom, back off in the bull market for the dollar index. So I'm looking for an 89.90 close below. Then when you go across, weak dollar index equals strong gold. Now, gold has been a very good trade. We saw this. I'm not going to go full intricate on it with you guys, because I think I need a whole little bit back sometimes, you know, just a little bit. But we did see this breakout here, and we saw those lower highs come through, and it was really, really, really good. This is a great trade here, great trade on the pullback, and it looks super solid. 1930 still remains my aim here, and I feel like we should be able to take a new high out in gold and go towards 1930. And then next 1930, 1960. I'm not really seeing too much negativity here in gold, as long as the dollar index doesn't go back above that zone. So we can have this 1930, we can have a 1960 gold, fans, but we just don't want this dollar index above 90.20. That would be bad for gold, and I think that's probably what I'm watching this week. Gold will hopefully make a new high over the next couple of sessions. Once we hit that new high, I think silver will also be locked on in. You can see here the daily rejection week, massive 28 plus is what we're looking for on a daily close. And then we can go towards most likely the 30 land. That's where we're trying to get to here. 30, 30, 30. Looks good. Andy Pandy knocked $20. Comp and GRT US dollar tether lightning bolt forming. Are these... Oh, yeah. These are cryptos. What time frame, man? I assume like smaller time frames. Or are you talking about bigger time frame and then looking at that? So if we go to 4 hour, you know, I like probably 8 hour the most. Yep, that's the type of thing you look for. You're absolutely correct. So you got trough, you got peak, you got higher trough, looking for a breakthrough of this zone here. That will be quite strong for it. And you can see just there is where the level is. Just there. So what's that, about 460? Yep, it's exactly the type of recovery you want in this coin. And this coin is down pretty hard here from top to bottom. In fact, even from here to here is still 50%, and at this low 70%. That was a big beat down very quickly in the crypto market. Actually unbelievable how much it went down. Yep, lightning bolt certainly in play there. Let's have a look at that other one for you. GRT. They should look very, very similar, all these. This one looks similar, but it's had a double base in here, and you've got a peak here and a peak here, and that's probably your main problem. They're just underneath the dollar as well. The other one's more clear. This one a little bit less because it's convoluted. Do you feel great about when you close above here? I'd feel pretty good. And for me, it would probably be enough, because you can't really wait for the dollar, because then your best case is $1.20 before it has problems, because see, you've got support, resistance. Yeah, I don't mind the GRT. I do think it's okay. I'd also be looking for it to break through here. So maybe you get breakthrough there, break through the 50 and this peak. Then you got trough, peak, higher trough, higher peak through the 50, and then we can move up to the $1.20. But I'd be very careful with this one at the $1.20. It's too good a level. It's too good a level. Appreciate that. Good morning, Tom. Love your stream. I'm learning. Thank you, says Ignacio. No worries, Ignacio. By the way, US guys and UK people, hope you're having a great long weekend. Obviously in the US, I believe it's Memorial Day, so hopefully you remember everybody. I'm assuming that's what it's all about. Andy Pandy, you've done that one. Steph, $2. AUTL, please. A bio with data presentation, 11th of June. So one thing about these bios is you've got to remember they're very hard to own an individual one, because if they have a bad earnings date or earnings result, it is bad. Like, you get slaughtered. There's some good news in this one, just because I wouldn't take that full trend line. But notice how recently I feel like this is breaking the bad trend. Not bad, actually. Is that actually the... Yeah, that's pretty solid. And then recently it's had lower. And it's basically got consolidation here waiting that news that you're talking about. Interesting. I don't mind it. You're trying to catch, a fairly bad falling knife. It has had big runs on it before. It's only a $467 million company. So it's not huge. Jeez. Tell you what, it's really close to doing the right thing. See how it's sitting on the 20 on the weekly, the mean reversion? I feel like any closure above this, which is probably going to be news related, sets in pace some serious recovery in this stock. So yes, the price action is obviously starting to anticipate. You can also see the volume has increased massively. Let's have a look at the daily. Yeah, so the volume went up huge here. Don't know why. It's after earnings, so maybe that's an announcement about stuff. And then since then, there's been a lot of speculation. So there's been a lot of speculation since then. Could be worse. I'll leave that on the side and I'll have a look at it later. Thank you very much, Steph. Take a look at oil and the polka dots. Certainly will. Is it back down for Sundial? Well, Sundial obviously moved because of the squeeze, or not squeeze, they call it gamma, whatever you want to call it now. Just remember, whether it's a squeeze that's caused by short sellers having to liquidate on AMC, or it's just huge amounts of FOMO, realistically, it's still pushing them into the red. So I don't think, I have a feeling that AMC would have to move really, really hard for them to actually start closing their shorts, because I think that they're getting the funding that'll be allow them to really hold it. $7, by the way, is the close you're looking for on this one. Let's go through to US oil. US oil looking great right now, 67. Nothing's really changed since last week. We think that it broke out this level, and our aim is 75. So that's simple. How long it takes her to get to 75, couldn't tell you. But I do feel pretty strongly about this. Moving up, it's a great close. It's not the most glorious, clean close. It's really, you're just kind of learning from your technical analysis. This is a weekly close that I think is significant, but you can see the session here putting 1% on for oil. And I noticed on the weekend, everything was negative about oil. Every single thing was like negative oil discussion, yet the market's going up. It's funny how that happens. Terry Chow says, lol, gamma. Yeah. God, I got crapped on in the comment section by people. They're like, Tom, it's a gamma. It's not short squeeze. It's gamma FOMO. I'm like, all right, man, I don't care. I mean, basically, it hit 35. All right, that was a top resistance. I don't care how it got there. It got there. Next level is going to be whether, can you regain the troops to be able to push it through for them to actually feel the pain. However you get there, you got there. It's well done. A lot of expiring options as well. I saw on GME about $800. They were crazy, those people. $800 GMEs. So US oil looks very, very good. We could go down the smaller time frames. The commodities are trading well. You can see the resistance coming up here. You can see how that big candle's kind of pressuring. If I would have had to guess, I would say bigger than coin flip. It goes to a new high here. But, you know, obviously you got to make your own decisions on this stuff. I love this retest. That was a great retest here on the 31st. ZOM as well. You look at something like any of these stocks. All these energy stocks are back on supports. They're ready to have that little bit of a turnaround. So I'd expect if oil can hold here, that most of these stocks should start to move around. Do you have a choice of beer for the Friday? No, not yet. We'll do that. Tom, can we get the cheat sheets in a non-zip file, says Massey. Yep, just re-sign up now, Massey. In fact, guys, come get 3 cheat sheets. Look at this. Look at this beautiful looking thing. You can test it for me right now. So we are giving away these cheat sheets. Let me just quickly go into the live chat. And you guys can grab them if you want. They're free. And I've set them up for PDF. So you can download them as a PDF. Now, you will have to confirm your email because I send them to you using the robot to do that. The problem was last time round, some guy hacked my link. They're nasty hackers. So there it is. You can go there and sign up if you want to and grab 3 cheat sheets, candlestick, cheat sheet, of course, our pattern cheat sheet and a divergence one. You can test it out and come back to in the stream and let me know how it goes. Hopefully it's all good. Matthew Harris says, Australian $5. Hey, Tom, is there any nasty TA you've seen in the ASX recently? If not, enjoy the $5. Well, I've been a huge fan of CSL. Not this CSL, the Australian one. This biotech company I love a lot. That had some good TA on it. I think the 280 was strong. That was the trend line I was looking at, and I was picking it up hard through this breakout. So see how it broke out, consolidated. I like this a lot. So I was big on that one. In the Australian market, look, the problem is a lot of the big blue chips in the Australian market are kind of really high. So you look at, things like the big blue chip stocks and they're kind of all really, really high. Look at this one, $55, really high. It's pulled back. BHP, you look at that. Oh, that's American BHP. But Australian BHP, it's kind of coming back down. I feel like iron ore could be kind of over. That whole big move that we saw, we were very bullish iron ore for quite some time. We got that pullback. Then Rio went and met a new high. Rio certainly was a trade in itself. So if you have a look at Rio, I think that right up there was definitely weakness for Rio. If some people wanted to put puts on it, right now it's in tough. So no, I haven't seen much in the Australian market. I've been focusing mostly on the American and just putting covers on Australian stocks because, yeah, look, look at this. They're all hideous consolidations. But I've got levels. Like, I mean, look at the banks. You've got your level. I mean, it's clear here for NAB. Big problems at 25.80 and under. So Matthew, I will post them in the Discord room if I see anything that's half decent. Andy Pandy said 20 knock. Can you give STEM a look? GS gave $30 price target. Good friends at Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs love this stock supposedly. Financial conglomerate, STEM Inc. Size, $3.43 billion. They gave a 30 target to it. Okay. Guess I feel strongly that it has broken trend line. You also saw the retest. Do I like it? Financial conglomerates. I don't understand the business, but I'm kind of done on the finance side. I think that sold covers are the way that I'll be playing them over the next couple of months if I want them. Yeah, this is fine. I can see $30, but I probably think if it goes to 30, it probably goes a bit higher, man, like 32. See how it's broken through this trend line? That's important. Maybe it comes back and gives you a little bit of retest before it goes up. Because someone just banned that guy. 1 second, I'll do it. Emery. Get out of here, Emery. All right, 1 second. Thank you very much, mods, for getting rid of him. I've hidden him as well, so that should get rid of it. All right. XRP for life. Really? Is XRP moving really, really nicely? So with STEM, I don't think it's the best. Yeah. Just because more the sector, I don't understand this stock. I've never looked at it before. But from a trend line perspective, yes, it broke through, and you could expect retests of 23. And then, of course, 32 would be more. 31 to 32 would be more the target I'd be looking for on this. Let's have a look at XRP here. XRP. $1. At least XRP, you're very, very close to where it's going to break out and go nice. 106. Little inverse head and shoulders as well. Probably predicting into the 106. Let's have a look at the distance. It's probably, yeah, pretty correct. Let's have a look at the 15 minute on this. Oh, pretty damn close. Yeah, XRP looks okay. I don't know if that's my favorite coin play, but yeah, it is there. Some people asking about DOT. Let's have a look at DOT. Nice breakout. Similar to Ethereum, coming back down, retesting from the top below. So this should, in theoretical, technical terms, find buying pressure here. So 2140-ish area, resistance, 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 trough here, trough here. You can see it, and then hopefully we get that bounce up to 24 plus. It is a strong move, but again, I'm just not feeling the technical markets are trading, the crypto markets are trading incredibly technically. We've seen a lot of false breaks, and when I see false breaks, I just pull back a little bit. There's money to be made every day out there, and I go back in. Now, if you want to invest, it's different to trading. If you're looking for good zones, yes, sure. But investing and trading, remember, a little bit different. You got to have a different idea for it. Marvin the Martian said he's gone for good. Yeah, the spam is gone. Don't worry, guys. I never understand why spammers don't use a little tact like talking about SafeMoon's greatness. Gareth Evans says. Gareth, really? Are you getting back into SafeMoon? I hope not. Buy on the dips, says Trilly Messiah. Yeah, not every day is a trading day, says Massey. Absolutely, Massey. Great lesson. What a great lesson to learn. Not every day is a trading day. Absolutely. Let's have a look at the Nasdaq and S&P here coming into the week ahead. So you can see it's down 0.06, really inconsequential. 4 hours where we're going to be looking this week. We didn't get a breakout above this 13,750. So 13,750 is probably the main area I'll be looking at the Nasdaq. Break above that, I'm actually aiming straight into 14K. Like I'm thinking, let's go, baby. Let's go. Woo! We'll be the sheeple attaching it to the 14K pain train. But while we're in here, we're clearly in consolidation. Underneath this 13,620 area, I'm actually thinking 13,400. Why? Because there's a huge amount of support around 13.4, and this is a very consolidated area. It's a coiling spring in the Wyckoff or Wickoff or whatever you want to call it area. That's the zone where you're now saying, okay, can we spring, reset the indicators and move up, or are we going to spring and then move down and then move to the next level of support? Remember, technical analysis is understanding the key areas the market will move to each way. So some good stuff there coming in on the US 100, US 500, very, very similar. Just looking for a 42.20 break high. This market session is going to do nothing. Too little futures trade to make much of a deal. It's more, the money's more in commodities right now, and the money's obviously in the cryptos a little bit at this stage as well. Tom, what are your thoughts on Webjet? Stop advertising to me. Is that fair? Webjet's super annoying, dude. Search online, Webjet. I hate the company. I don't get it, but I know it's done well in the past. So this is Webjet. Let's have a look at the weekly. So this company was a bit of an enigma to me, how it ever got up here. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I've never booked with them. I never thought they were that great. And they're basically, for anyone that doesn't know, they're basically an online search engine for finding flights and hotels or whatever else. I don't know. But yeah, they weren't really I wasn't a big fan of them because effectively you got cheaper price by just going to you could use them to search, and then I would just go to the airplane company and buy it there. It was cheaper. So, I mean, that's why I didn't get it. But, people are lazy and they don't necessarily know that and they use it. Good news for Webjet is that the weekly actually found some support. So you found support through this, resistance, support, did find some buying pressure. I do think this whole thing going on in Australia is pulling them back a little bit. I think it's concerning for them. And I'm not buying this type of stuff, but that's because for me, why do I need to buy a recovery play? Even though there is recovery here, why would I need to buy that when I could go to a great technology company, or I could go to a great biotechnology company, or a great healthcare company, or something else that's going to give me my 20% per year or 10% per year, or whatever I'm looking for out of that? This, to me, is just a big financial risk. So it feels good because you can say, I picked the bottom, but how good really is it going to be? Is it at support, resistance support? Yes. Could it go back to $6 or $8? Absolutely. But is that percentage that exciting? Percentage here, 37. Okay, it's pretty good. And then percentage here, 53. It's good, but you can also get that kind of return by potentially taking less risk in other areas. You know what I mean? Some people saying it's awful. Yeah, it's not the best. Barber 213. Oh, this stock. Blech. I don't know. I honestly don't think I'll ever own this stock again. I have owned it. That's kind of the way I was thinking about the other day. It may be stupid of me to say I'll never own it again. I probably will. But I just kind of feel like once you get taken the way they did by the government, the way it happened, it's very difficult for them to recover from it, properly. And I also think that SE is really taking a bit of their crown. You think about Barber here, it's underneath this 220. We need to get it back above 220, break this trend line for strength. And if you go and have a look at SE, which is a comparatively interesting play, these guys can integrate new markets. Barber's already got its market. It's got competition now coming through. So does Amazon. SE is going into new markets in South America and slamming it. They just went into Brazil, and a year later, they're the most popular one. They're in Mexico, just destroying it. Matthew Harris says Webjet is so diluted, it's crazy. Another problem, capital raises coming into these bad cash flows. Yeah. So capital raises definitely are big problems here. SE, it's a good company. It's overpriced, no doubt, in terms of just any metric you look at. They're going to have to grow, and they're going to have to grow real strong. But this is the kind of thing coming from Barber, and I think go read about it. I think somewhere in the Discord community we've shared it. If you're in the private one, it certainly is in there. Klim had a great article on it. It's a very good read. Very good read. What cryptos are a good pickup right now? Let's have a look at the crypto list. So we'll check it out. Okay, so these are the current moves. Obviously, you can go through here. Now, with cryptos, it's really tough. What do you pick? I mean, is it going to be something like ICP? Probably not. Is it going to be something like Chainlink at 28? It's okay. Polygon, obviously $1.83 now, but that's had a lot of hype through it. So remember, when a coin's had a huge amount of hype through it, even if it's great, it is going to have problems. VE chain, pretty low, 11 cents. Was as high as 23. I think privacy coins are in for all types of pain, so that's not going to be it. Shiba, yeah, let's have a look. Where's Kasama at the moment? 318. Kasama, I like this coin. 318. Obviously attached to the DOT network, but it's really the DOT powerhouse. 318, highs of 602, so it's basically about 100%. I think this one is interesting. Kasama clearly has a huge amount of pressure on it, as in people buy it a lot. So if you look at KSM, it's certainly an interesting coin. You can see that the domination that happened to it. I think it's a little bit underappreciated maybe. Maybe it's too appreciated. Big sell-off that occurred when DOT got plunged. But actually, DOT went and made a new low. And you'll notice there's strength here in Kasama. Kasama didn't go make a new low. It went to 200. And its recovery is not fierce, but it certainly is more consolidating through this zone. So I don't mind this one. I think it's okay. Maybe some other people like them. Other ones, I know Talcoin's been a popular one with a few people here in the community. Talcoin is another one that's down pretty hard off its highs. This was a severe breakout though, so I like ones that are attached a little bit more to others. And realistically, they're all, are you willing to take the risk? Because the crypto market's unhealthy right now for sure. Razor wire laser beams, US $5. Hey Tom, any thoughts on cryptos with revenue like the sushi? Is even thinking that way dumb when things like meme coins are getting people Lambos? Razor wire, you bring up a great question. So sushi is the one you're talking about. So let's have a look. Yes. In essence, basically, yes. You're thinking about this market very logically. You've got to think about it as the crypto market is always, well, number one, Dogecoin and Shibu, this whole meme thing that goes through like squeezing and stuff, those other ones, they're all a bit, euphoric. That's the big problem with them. But you've never really been able to look at the crypto market and say, oh, hey, this is the way something works, and I'm going to trade it this way. I'm going to trade it because it has these metrics. It's more about how much news can this company pump out. So in crypto, I always look for how active is the community, because in effect, all you need is tons and tons of news to come out. Because what does news do? It creates hype. And what does hype do? It creates lots and lots of people talking about it, which then has effectively a big roller coaster back into more news, back into more hype, back into more hype. Hype equals more money, etc., etc., etc. So if you have a lot of news and you have a big community of hype, that's the big one that you want. You just want to continuously have that in crypto market. I think that crypto, if you want to go with the safer kind of plays, then you're going to go with the big ones, the big dogs. If you want to go with speculative kind of stuff, then you'll have to go with hype that's led by news, that's led by people. They just keep getting new agreements. So back in 17, they could make an announcement with anyone and it would send the crypto up like $1 or 50%. Nowadays, it's also about, will an exchange put the crypto on there? These are the important things. You've got to say, are you in that for the technology or are you in it for the trade investment idea? I think there's very few cryptos that are investable, personally. But in terms of trading and making money from it, it's all about the hype, all about the news. Now, some of you in the community may disagree with me, but that's the way I see it. Tom, have you done ADA? I haven't really. I've got ADA here. ADA a little bit weaker than the other coins from the perspective of it hasn't made a new peak yet, like Ethereum has. But look, this has been strong. And, I have a theory about this. So a few people, obviously that guy, I watched one of his videos, the guy that brought up the Wyckoff, whatever you want to call it, theory. Basically, he loves ADA, it sounds like. He was talking about it the whole time. And I have a theory that he has really created a certain level. I actually think he's done this. He's created a certain level of love in the ADA community. And that's been latched onto, along with the fact it was already getting very strong against, of course, Ethereum and everything else. You can see the big breakout that was happening previously. There's nothing wrong with Cardano. I just don't see it with a new breakout just yet. I'm looking for this thing to get above 2 for us to be able to go to the next level. Yeah, once we go to the next level and we get past $2, then it will be like Ethereum going past 3,000. If it can, awesome, we're back on. If it can't, then we're just going to sit around in all of this madness. Because, what do we have? We have $1.35 being heavy support buying. We've got like $1.45 being another support buy on pullbacks. And you haven't made a new high yet. So, yeah. Big dojis. Binance has 500 BTC holding it above 36,400. Hate this zone. Yeah, so there's quite a lot over 500 BTC. Yep. Paul Nanny just sponsored. Thank you very much, Paul Nanny. Appreciate it. Been a member for 2 months. Thank you very much there, sir. And glad to have you in the community. We've got Chronically Sam, New Zealand, $10. Good to have you, Chronically Sam. Hey, Tom, just wondering if you had a look at AMC on the BMV at all already in this stream. If so, I will rewind, but I just want to see what you say about its cause. It looks like pretty crazy. Oh, okay. We'll have a look at AMC. Yeah, look, really, I guess we watched it live go through. In fact, we counted it down with the seconds. Remember that, guys? We did that 1, 2, 3, and it hit 35, and then it went like 36.51. My thoughts, look, supposedly, and I'm not going to claim I read all the filings for this stuff because I really don't. But yeah, technical was hit. This zone was hit. And when you say technicals about AMC, it's basic human psychology because you're saying, okay, we've got an all-time high reached. Are there going to be lots of greedy apes that are going to take profit? Yes. Why will they take profit at 35? Because it's all-time highs. And that was their aim. Their initial aim was $20. Support, resistance. So it makes sense the next level was going to be a big level. And it certainly was. Now, what happened on Friday was, I believe, and I'm not going to read about it or anything like that there was a huge amount of FOMO and euphoria. And then instantaneously, we saw it start to fail. People go and look at their charts. They're like, oh my God, I should have taken the profit at 35.50, 36 because I see the all-time high now. And they went around the streams. And as they zoomed it out, it all became so obvious. And then they all went, oh my God, we got to bail on the ship, boys. Long weekend, I got to get money for the barbecue. And then they all bailed. And I don't think it was necessarily anything other than people getting greedy, saying, what a great week. Basic human psychology. You start the week and it's here, $14, and you end the week and it's $35. You've banked over 100%, potentially thousands of percent in some options, and you're just like, I can't sleep on the weekend. I got to get out. I got to get out right now. I'm going to take my money. I'm going to go to my barbecue. I'm going to tell everyone how great I am, and next week I'll get in cheaper. So that's the way I feel like it. It's basic human psychology. Let's have a look at the 15-minute chart. So some buying around the previous highs, resistance, some buying came in, and then it came back down to the support around 25, and that's where it ended. So people were like, oh, I feel more comfortable buying at 25 when I know it went to 35. Again, it's just based on what I feel about this stock. But yeah, once it hit that 35 so early in the morning, it was super unlikely to ever get past it. So many greedy people. Like, if I was there, I was even saying it during the stream. Oh my God, like so many people are going to take it off there. They're just going to look at it as 100% in a week. And guys had hundreds of thousands of dollars of profit on this. Natasha Rawls says AMC to the moon. I'm sure I'm going to get some down votes on that one. AMZ on the BMV is 520.99. What? Really? Oh, I haven't seen on that. Let's have a look. But this is just a comparison, isn't it? Yeah, this is just the comparison. Sorry, I didn't realize you had it on BMV like this. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. We just don't have as much history on it. But it's the same thing, just big amounts of, obviously, portions. Market's closed here? Yeah, it's absolutely closed. We're just taking a look at things for the week ahead. That's all. Just having a bit of a chill out session, guys. Bit of a chill out session. Chronically Sam, New Zealand, $5. Look at the BMV 520. It doesn't make any difference though. It's the same trade. So if we look at the BMV, 520 is just the same pullback. Like the percentage is the same, everything's the same. So there's effectively the 20 is here. And then it's, I don't know what am I meant to be looking at? Am I meant to be looking at something else, guys? Other than the price? It's the same move. So what happens in the AM tomorrow? Well, AMC better hold for you because if you don't hold on this 25, it's going to go back to 20. Check it out, 4 hour. Check it out, 1 hour. Yeah, the ASX was open. The Australian stock market was open as well, guys. See this? This 25 better hold, because you get underneath that, it could all come down. Blech, back to the 20. So you want to see holds through that zone. I'd be probably on a 15-minute chart, and I'd be looking between there. And if I had the resistance off cross here, I'd probably be looking at 28, maybe a little bit lower. Closure above 27. And I'd be looking at how it trades in between this zone. Because a little closure out here should start a rally. A little closure under here should start a dump. Just way too much holding here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 holds across the 25-30 zone. Very important area. Elegant Aware says AMC goes back to 9. Well, it's very similar to what happened with GME, where it went absolutely crazy and it went up hard. Look, I want to be believer in the concept, but I think human greed, is way too strong. And I've been around the markets a long time, and if you sit someone down and they were up $500,000 in AMC, and unless they were kind of like, I believe I can get like $2 million, ultimately, when it comes time to it, they will take the profit. They will take the profit. If you were sitting there and would you hold forever? Honestly, would you hold forever? Tell me this truthfully, guys. I would be an absolute paper hand. I'm sorry, I would. I would paper hand that crap right now. But that's exciting. I'm smooth brained or weak brained or whatever you want to call it. Too weak on this one. It freaks me out a little bit. But I'm glad a lot of you made money, and I hope everyone in this chat right now made money in this, ideally. Hey, Tom, can you have a look at the Chinese index? Which one, man? You want the Shanghai comp? I wouldn't mind having a quick look at the Shanghai composite as well, actually. Why do I always get this wrong? SSE comp. There it is. Oh, dude. Oh, it looks real good. It looks really good. When you look at this, you just look at it and you go, yeah. Like, what a great breakout down here. Great trading. And it looks strong up here. I mean, the market is above a very key level on the Shanghai composite. The thing about the Chinese market as well is when it runs, oh my goodness, it goes the FOMO like no other thing FOMOs. And it's not uncharacteristic. I've shown you this a few times. It FOMO'd hardcore in the 06, 07 into 08 area. And then hardcore FOMO'd again. So it's done a double bubble over the years. Bubble up here. Imagine buying this index at 6,000. Wouldn't you be crying? You bought it at 6,000 over here. It's when indices go bad. 07, you bought it at 6,000. We all think, oh, it's all come back. It's all good. Your money's back. Not in Chinese market. It's not back. You got absolutely destroyed. Technically, when I go into this area, I go like, I will not buy any financial. So financial is a big X. I will only buy, and I'm not even sure if I buy tech anymore. I was mostly just buying tech, healthcare, and a few other sectors. I literally would not touch any real estate, any financial, any of that stuff. I was X everything in the Chinese market. 42K tonight for BTC. Wow. Is that what you reckon? AMC United. I love that millions of us are changing the stock market forever with AMC and GameStop. Can't stop, won't stop. Big spaceship stop, says Natasha Rawls. Hey, I'm happy for you. That's awesome. It's good. It's good that people feel very comfortable with it, but I do think ultimately the big problem is going to be that there are greedy people out there. Well, not greedy, but there are profit takers. Thanks very much for all the subscriptions coming through here. Appreciate that. I'm back in once it drops again, says Elegant Aware. So what are you looking for, Elegant? Like $20? Kevin says with AMC, you just have to stare at the 1 minute and 5 minute charts. Yeah, you got to be on the small minute charts. But when you're looking at after it consolidates, after a big move, you got to wait for daily breaks each way. Apple crypto, someone knew something. Natasha says, I don't think some of y'all realize how many millions of retail investors are holding AMC until it hits 1,000 or 10,000 a share. And when it does, we'll keep holding to push it to 100K a share. I think some people will, but I think a lot of the holders that are willing to hold those levels are actually quite small holders. So say like, I know heaps of people that have between like, let's call it like more than 5 shares, but 5 and like maybe 1,000 shares, okay? And those people, they will be, well, not 1,000 shares, like a couple of hundred. Those kind of people definitely will hold because they don't care. They don't look at it. In fact, they bought it just to stick it. That's what they did. They bought it and they leave it in their account. They will never look at it. They don't care about it. In fact, they probably forgot they even have it. Those people, yes, they have this true diamond hands. Anyway, I'm not here to get into a big fight about it. All good. All right, guys, calm down. It's all good, guys. All good. Let's have a quick look at Tesla here. What's going on with Tesla? 625.59 in the middle of the zone, going towards 666, and of course 600 on the resistance breakout. I think the one thing I will also just quickly go back on AMC for, just please never risk more money than you can afford to lose. Remember, it's not a sure thing. It is a movement. It is a concept. And so far, it's going really well. But just never invest more money than you can afford to lose. That's how diamond hands are made, says Monica. Yeah. Chronically Sam says, most people think they will hodl, but when they see the profits, they won't be able to stop themselves. Flight kicks in very quick. Yeah, we've seen it a few times. So when GME crashed through, and you could say that's for a lot of different reasons, but when it did crash through, the second time, the first time, there's a lot of, big things about it, but there was a lot of fear from retail traders here as well. And that fear led through, and I remember here, everyone was very, very sad. And they were very sad here, and they were very sad here, and they were closing up, and it wasn't great. So I just don't want people to be in situations where they're really sad again. That's all. I want them to say, okay, well, if I'm going to put it aside, then I'm prepared to realistically risk it. Risk it for the biscuit, as they say. ARS $100. Furman Satorelli, ARS $100. Do you see green June for Mali? Let's have a look. Mali. Thank you very much for the generous donation. I'm not sure how much that is, but I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Mali, Internet Software Company. Green June. Been a red May, it looks like. New low. Backed up there a little bit. Let's go back to the daily. Oh, damn, dude. I think you really need to get above here. So you've got like a resistance here and a resistance here right around that 1400 zone. And yeah, it's super interesting because if you get a closure above the 1400 zone, then you've effectively got your trough, your peak, your higher trough sequence, and then you can feel a lot more positive about it. I think get through here, get through the 1400, you'll feel a lot better. And then you can start to move with the 1600 zone. I could see it, but if it turns here and goes red, it's no. And as soon as you make a new low under 1300 on a daily close, unfortunately, it is unlikely to be a green month on Mali, unfortunately. Natasha says, I love you all. I've been listening to Tom for months in the morning. Much respect. Thank you very much, Natasha. But this is a huge movement. AMC and GME will change the entire game on the stock market. I think they'll definitely lead to some different changes to be made. And if it continues, because you've got to remember, GME is pretty high still, so pretty impressive stuff. I think if it continues, look, you come back to me in a year and you're still pushing it up, yeah, I could say you're changing the game. If it only holds another couple of months, that'll be a big problem. The other thing as well is how well it holds through like a stock market pullback, like a proper one. It's already gone through a 9% Nasdaq and held. Pretty impressive. We'll see how it goes. Dwayne Watt says 100% with Natasha, holding over lots of shares and trading options, not selling. Good work, man. Hey, look, don't get me wrong. I love it, guys. It's good. I just don't want you to lose money. That's all. For the Mali, yes. Resistance 1406. Break close. Move back up to the 1600. Closure underneath 1300. Bad. It's bad, dude. You do not want that. And you can see it on this. It's not good. It's not good. Why is everyone going crazy about XRP? Is it moving again? Oh, it's at $1. I thought this was where we saw it before. Yeah, we got our trend. We got our resistance up here. 106. We need a 107 break plus close. All shorts must cover, says Martin Jones. Ali A says, I need you on off days. Oh, no worries, man. Leaps, PLTR looking prime. Let's have a look at PLTR. You guys feeling good on the Palantir? 22.94. Big rejections there on the Friday close. But this is actually what happened in every hyperstonk. A lot of big hyperstonks did this. T-Doc was another one that did it. Then we had some others as well. This thing is a nasty candle. I'm going to be watching this very closely with you tomorrow. We're going to have laser eyes on these candles. And we'll have laser eyes on AMC. Don't worry. We'll have laser eyes on the levels. But I am concerned about... I don't like this candle. I would love to see this thing closure above. Imagine that. Oh, yeah. Then you can start talking about some sweet longs. Trend line has been broken. PLTR looking for some more movement up. That's very, very cool. Good vibes to everyone? Absolutely. But I was twice as rich 2 weeks ago. Yeah, that part is true, Mel. Oh, you lost some money, Rich? Oh, well. We all lose. We all make. And the idea is you have more at the end. Everyone has a loser kind of day sometimes. And look, if you were looking at anything, say you got through the crypto market, you're only down like 10% over the last month or 2 months, you're actually doing better than a lot of people. So just remember it. It's all relevant. All right, let's have a quick look around this last bit here before we wrap things up. So CRM, good announcement. I won't go through it today. I'll do this one tomorrow. But that trend line did break through. I could see it coming back retesting. We've got Snow. We're going to be watching this with a laser focus through the Monday session because we did see a closure above the 240. And I am very interested to continue watching this one. So we'll check that out. Then we've got Enphase trying to break a new high. I'll be watching these little rejections here and looking for closures above those zones this week. Certainly one that I'm looking at quite closely here on the channel. Then we've got Net moving its way upwards. Probably nothing to invest here, but we will continue to look at the 77 zone and watch it through. We've got AMD. We looked at that before. Very, very nice stuff. And yeah, the rest of the market's looking okay. Gold is looking good. Silver is looking good. US oil is looking good. Bitcoin and Ethereum are making their way up, though I'm not really feeling like let's call it like the technicals are great on these yet. I want a 42 to 42.5 breakout close to really say, hey, we've solidified it. And all in here you're doing is you're investing. If you feel like it's your investment tool, then you're buying key support levels and technicals for investment. I think the main idea of trading the technicals is busted at this stage in this market. 666, but it'll come back. Gareth Evans, thoughts on the US stock market? 666, by the way. Seems all news is good news on the Fed, and the Fed is running out of options or already too late / I won't mention the word. Thanks, Gareth, man. Yeah, all news is good news in the stock market. Bad news is good news. That's right. Look, I don't think the Fed is out of tools. They just don't really necessarily want to use the extra money that they do have. I've spoken about on this channel before. I actually think the Fed have a lot more than people think. So the Fed say, oh, well, they've got like 7 trillion printed. Well, they haven't printed technically any more than they've already said they were going to. I feel like that can go upwards of $50 trillion. And yeah, I said that. It's insane. Don't get me wrong. But once they start this, they will not be able to taper it correctly. They couldn't do it in Japan. Now Japan owns 60 to 70% of their bond market, possibly more. It's insane, guys. They fundamentally screwed the money system. There's no doubt. It will lead to the market being artificially high for some period. We will go through corrections that will be as deep potentially as like 15% to 20%. But I do feel like the next couple of years we are in basically recovery. All of this stimulation, as long as something else doesn't happen. And I've mentioned it before and I can't even say the word. So I'm going to write it down because I get in trouble. So there we go. This is the big concern for the markets over the next decade, at least how I see it. If you want to go with the number one threat, it is going to be some kind of that thing, because humans like doing that thing for some reason, and it's probably going to be like the similar to the last time, where it's just going to be like a little bit of a standoff. So that's the one I've got the biggest concern for the markets. Most news is good news in the markets, and I actually think they're trading pretty technically at the moment. So we've got that US 100 trap like a little cat down here. We've got trapped in. We know where it is. We've got laser eyes on that. And I'm feeling good about it. And I think, we just keep watching the US 10-year treasuries. I find it very interesting as well that the articles out there were all like, how to buy inflation. And ever since those articles have come out about inflation, all of a sudden the US 10-year has gone down. So again, it's another interesting thing that's happening here, where everyone's talking about inflation. I've said many times, I think this 10-year treasury yield is going to 1.952. I do. I still think it is. When? I don't know. But that will affect the Nasdaq and knock it around. But at this stage, we're not seeing it. So continue to watch the 1.62 this week. Aliens, says Alia. Aliens, yes. Rich Buddy says crypto is a 5-year plus time frame investment. If you go in with that expectation, you will do fine. Yeah. If you buy most levels, you're okay. But again, I'll preface what Rich Buddy says. Depends on the crypto. Some don't come back, hey? Some do not come back. Massey, that's correct. There will be some opportunities in that concept. But look, it's just my big issue with it. So if you're kind of thinking about, hey, what's going on in the crypto market right now, and you think, oh, I want to have some of this, these aren't the worst levels ever. I mean, you've just seen 70% kickoffs on some alts. So on the big ones, they could be there, but you've got to think about it from the perspective of, do you diversify a little bit through a few coins, or are you going to buy like a specific coin? They come with their risks, and it's up to you to make your own decisions on that. That's right, Chronically Sam. It can be a great economy builder, but it's usually not during the time. Okay. Gold's 1900. Yeah, gold's doing good. Nothing wrong with gold. 1904. It's doing good. Looking for it to go towards 1930, 1960. AMC stocks open in Europe. Really? Don't know. Is AMC in Europe? I don't even think it is. Is it traded somewhere else? AMC Entertainment Holdings. Is this it? Ah. Okay. So theoretically, is that the bottom? Like, this is obviously it's scaled. So that's the scaled 35 high. Is that right? So that's the scaled 35 high. So you're sitting at 24,458. So for tomorrow, that's about 12% on the open. Nice. If this is actually the same code. So scaled, that's 35. Let's have a look at the 15-minute chart. So it would have closed early, so it wouldn't have had that same bottoming effect. Wouldn't read too much into it. I'd go back through and see whether it's been accurate, because it's basically like fake market futures, but you know what I mean. We'll see how it goes. AMC is up in Germany. Nice. Yeah, it's up 11.77%, but it doesn't have the same consolidation. I think that's probably because the market closed. So the market would have closed. Wait, where is the date? 28th. And then there's the open this morning. Yeah. So this would have been equivalent to that 25, 30 kind of ever support level. So then in the US market, it basically sat around here. And then that now is probably equivalent of around $30. So cool. Very good. Sven says $30. Yeah, about $30. Waffles, US $4.99. Hey, Tom, can you compare SE and Square? They've been moving together for months until recently. Is there one you prefer at the moment? Great content, by the way. They shouldn't move together. They're not... I mean, I understand one thing about it, and I think the reason they were moving together is because SE has that financial wallet kind of business as well. It's got that... point of sale kind of system. But I compare SE is more of an Amazon killer, let's call it. It's not a killer because obviously it'll never take Amazon out, but it's a big competitor in the Southeast Asian area, an area that Amazon has arguably not done well at. And I think South America is actually its big play here. These guys are good at pulling it off. I think that they are separated businesses, but some of the fintech side of things from SE will be coming in. During the pandemic, the reason why maybe SE and Square were moving together is because everyone was big on this money lending fintech kind of concept. And maybe they saw this as also like that. At the same time, you had Amazon-like properties in it. So after Amazon stopped and maybe SE stopped a little bit, it was moving up with all the other hyper stonks at the same time. And only recently is it decoupled because of the Bitcoin stuff that's going on with Square. So I think Bitcoin and crypto is kind of what's affected it. I wouldn't say they're too linked. In terms of which company I think is better, I think SE is a higher PE. So what I mean by that is SE here is $132 billion, and it's too much for the PS. So if you have a look at the price sales and actually look at the profit in most of their sectors, they are heavily bleeding money. Whereas Square is arguably already a profitable business. So it's a little bit different. If you're thinking about if SE can pull it off, there's a chance SE will beat Square over the next decade. If SE can go into South America and absolutely dominate there and continue their growth through the other sectors. So I think SE might have a better potential ceiling. Square's ceiling somewhere around, to me anyway, about $250 to $300 billion. So around $300 billion. Basically, I just look at PayPal. And even though they're slightly different, PayPal's currently rated at $305 billion. For me, I want Square to be here. I don't know when it's going to be here, but I want it to be here. So Waffles, that's what I'm looking for. Natasha's like, boom, AMC. Yeah, just go look at that German one, Natasha. Then you can feel good because it's up. I know there'll be huge dips in AMC this week. I'm here for the rips. Good, man. So much hype around AMC right now. Yeah. People love it, dude. People love it. Kevin says SE is getting pumped because of its growth only. Their PE is overvalued. It's insanely PE valued. I love it a lot, but it's being forward projected. The problem is they're pulling some of this forward projection out, and it's not enabling big discounts to be had on the stock. So yeah, I'm very concerned about SE's valuation. I've actually chipped away. I'm lower than I was. I just don't like its valuation. It's insane. Have a look it up and you'll be like, oh my God, so expensive. Inari, well, we've got insider. We've got an insider alert. I'm working at SE. Haha. Well, Inari, tell us right now, is it overvalued? Inari, we're waiting for you. I'm going to keep the stream open just to know what you tell me. Come on, share that, spill the beans. And I don't want to hear about how you're on the call center or something. I want to hear the real deep dive action. Megan T, I love this one. $5. Let me just make sure I got everybody else back. Yep. Megan T, ever heard of BitConnect? Apparently you can make a very high yield on your investment. Yeah, I probably shouldn't even mention BitConnect after these guys they're getting slaughtered. Did you guys see? Oh, the SEC hates them. Rightfully so. It was a Ponzi from the start. It was so Ponzi-ish. And I remember they used to share their money. So they used to say, like, look how much dollars I made, guys. I'm so rich. And it was like all affiliate cash. It was really dodgy. I kind of feel bad for them, though. Some of them didn't repent. I feel like the ones that repented, maybe they didn't know what they were doing. But yeah, it was really, really questionable. BitConnect. Kevin says, lol, Tom wants to know at Inari. Come on, bro. Inari's just ran away. He's like, oh, I'm going to get fired. He's gone. He's not coming back, guys. He's not coming back. Inari is gone. He's not giving us any nuggets about the business. It's down in Germany? What do you mean it's down in Germany? You're talking about AMC still, yeah? Where are we? Wasn't this the one that we were looking at? It's up, baby. Not down. Inari's fled, for sure. Yeah, Megan T, I have heard of the old BitConnect. That was the best video. I would play all these. I wish I could play videos on YouTube streams, but we just can't do it. We get copyright struck instantly. The best, though. AMC is open today in Germany market. Yeah, we've got it here. US stocks tomorrow. That's right. Next week is going to be crazy. Inari has run away. All right, no worries, everybody. Well, look, we actually made it through a full 1.5 hours. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed us. Thanks for almost 1,000 people consistently watching this stream. Hopefully, you guys did enjoy it. Remember to subscribe. Come back tomorrow. We're going to have a lot more people here. Obviously, we've got the real market opening, the US market. And we'll be here looking at these futures, looking at the market pre, taking a look at some of our favorite sectors. And we'll be doing some deep dives into hopefully some healthcare tomorrow. And yeah, I'm excited stuff. There's good things going on here. Let's have a look at this plug. Oh, look at it, just above. Look at the Fubo. Fubo coming back down here, 2250 area. Will ETH fall back to 2200? At this stage, things are looking strong. If you go to the 2-hour chart, things are looking strong. I don't really want it back to 2200 again, guys. If it kind of worries me coming back again. Ideally, this is where it does go long and starts testing the 2800. I mean, after that breakout there, we should go. We should technically go to 2700, sorry. We love the evolution, says INF. Very good. So no AMC stock trading today, says Gregory. Unfortunately, there's only I think the German market's open. It's up about 12%, so that's nice. Kevin says the real market. Ouch, Tom doesn't like the TSX. And that means I'm hating on the ASX as well. Remember, my own market. Look, I trade the biggest in the ASX, but it's not for everyone. It's pretty boring. You want to go back to the boomer. The ASX is the boomer stocks. You got like 20, 30 stocks, and you have to understand them all and know where they are, and you trade them a totally different way. It's not like you guys in the US where you got the best companies in the world, mostly. Good luck, everyone. I'm selling AMC tomorrow, says Violent J. Violent J, don't tell anyone in this community about that. They might yell at you, bro. They might yell. Watch out, Violent J. Watch out. You better go into hiding. All right, everyone have a good Memorial Day in the US. Obviously in the UK, enjoy your public holiday. And for Australians, Canadians, Asians, South Americans, I don't know where anyone is, Africans, wherever else you are in the world, Europeans, I hope you have a wonderful day. Enjoy the session, enjoy the futures, and take a little bit of time off the charts, everybody. Sometimes it's good to just chillax. And I know I'm not the best for that because I'm here on a day off. AMC, hold the shares, someone says. How is usually the day after a long weekend, Tom? You can actually look it up. Just look up Memorial. It's in Google. There's a good little article on it. It's like Memorial Day after the weekend. Usually the day after is actually a little bit red. That being said, Memorial Day isn't really a strong correlation with bullishness or bearishness. I found like Thanksgiving has been a phenomenal week for me, guys. We don't have turkey here that much in Australia, but I'm going to eat a turkey this year because I love Thanksgiving. The market is glorious. The Thursday and the Friday and those days off that you guys aren't even trading, often green future fest. So yeah, thank you very much for that. Thank you very much. Stock market is closed Memorial Day. That's right. All right, guys. See you tomorrow. And we'll be doing the live stream pre-market 1.5 hours before the market opens. Bye for now. And also, if you're interested, come and get the free cheat sheet, guys. Free cheat sheet. And if you're also interested, we launched a new website over on www.fxevolution.com. I've kind of consolidated across our courses here into the ultimate masterclass. So if you're interested in that one, you can check out the description links below. Highly recommend it. Obviously, it's about 10 years of my time, or 10 years plus, and 10 years plus of Tyrone, my trading partner's time. So, we've put a lot of work into this one. I think it's pretty good. And if you're thinking of finding out more, I don't usually shill it, but why not? It's Monday. I'm going to shill it. Get on over there, guys. Catch you, everyone. Bye for now. Ronnie says, I just got here, damn. That's all right, man. You got a full hour and a half to watch me ramble about stuff. Free cheat sheet, says Waffles. That's right, free cheat sheet. 3 cheat sheets. Oh, by the way, American people out there, I made ribs on the weekend. We used one of those American rubs. Damn, dude. That was so good. So good. Sweet baby rays and that dry rub, and I rubbed it. It was delicious. Amazing stuff, guys. Bye for now.